the last thing I want to talk about, again, discussion that came up from my friend and I, was that the universal design for learning. So the universal design for learning is actually known as UDI. UDI. So when you think about it, let your mind go to smartphone. Okay? Everybody's smartphone, I don't have my phone here, but everybody's smartphone is designed to suit them. It's programmed to suit them, right? Everybody's having a smartphone regardless. But it's actually customized setting. So the setting I use for my smartphone may not be the setting you want to use. But the setting is there. It's there for everybody. Everybody's smartphone has the same setting, but you have the choice to access it or not. That's what universal design does, right? You don't wait and say, oh, I need this setting. Let me go to Apple company and say they should add this setting. Or I need this setting in my Samsung. Let me go to Samsung and tell them to add it. No. In the beginning, when you get your phone, when you get your smartphone, the settings are all there, right? How many times you're looking for a setting on your phone and you're like, does this phone even have this? Then you go to a friend and said, oh yeah, this is how you get to the setting. And he's like, oh my God, this phone can do this? Oh my God, this phone can do this? Right? But it didn't go anywhere. The phone has been having the same setting from the day you bought it. So the universal design, we have to look at it this way. When the students come into your classroom in the first day, September, in the States, we start school in September or late August. It depends where you are in the States. But whatever month you start your school year, your classroom should be set that everything is accessible to everyone. Doesn't mean that they will use it, but make sure it's there, right? Make sure that you have the calculators, right? And make sure that you have the speech to text and text to speech software. Make sure you have all that going on. Make sure that you have seating arrangement where students with wheelchairs can come in and out. Make sure your classroom is set up in the beginning. That's the thing about universal design for learning. It has to be there in the beginning. Don't think that somewhere in the middle of the school year, then you call your principal and say, oh, we need this in the classroom because of this student. No. Unless it is the first thing we talk about, especially design instruction, that you need something specific for that student. But we talk about universal design for learning, okay? So everything, you have to have ear, what's that, like the thing for the ears, like sound counseling. So students that are sensitive to sounds, make sure you have those things in your classroom, because you are a special education teacher. So if you're going to practice universal design for learning, it means that you make everything accessible in your classroom from the beginning. Just like the smartphone. When you buy your smartphone, everything is accessible in that phone, but it's your choice to use certain setting or not. So the student have a choice to use the speech to text or not, but make it accessible to everybody. Because some students feel so isolated in inclusive setting, especially where they have to use a calculator and the rest of the class is not using it, or they have to use something, they feel embarrassed, right? They're like, oh, it's only me that's using this stuff, so I must be special ed kid. No. You let the class know everything is accessible, but it's up to you to use it to help you in your journey with education, right? So and as a teacher in this kind of setting, in your universal design for learning setting, you have to be flexible with your learning environment. If you're a teacher that's very picky about your environment, your classroom, everything has to be a certain way, this is going to be hard for you, because you have to have different means of expression, engagement, and representation available in your classroom. Again, I'm going to say that you have to have multiple means of representation, engagement, and expression of the lesson from the student and you to the students in the classroom. So your classroom may be different year after year, subject after subject, but you have to be flexible enough to receive this kind of strategy, which is in universal design for learning. Because you, at the end of the day, think about this way: you want to address diverse learners, their needs and their preference. Students have different needs and preference. I get that, but try to make sure your classroom can meet it in a general base, like it's across board. All right. So to wrap this up, I think I've been talking for, let me check myself. Okay, 24 minutes. Okay, it's not that bad. So to wrap it all up, to sum it all up, I want you to take this away. Specially designed instruction, which is SDI, is personalized teaching for students with disabilities. And when you think about that, I want you to think about a tailor who makes a suit for somebody specifically. The next thing you have to remember is differentiated instruction. This is offered to all students. And when you think about it, think about an ice cream with different flavors, right? And the third thing is the universal design for learning, the UDL. And this is also for all students, but the difference here is this one is done in the beginning, it's set up in the beginning. So when you think about UDL, universal design for learning, think about smartphone. When you go and buy a smartphone, everything is in the smartphone, but it's up to you what you want to access from the smartphone, how you want to access it, right? So I hope I was able to make this a little bit clear for you. My friend was like so happy that we had this discussion today in the classroom. So, but thank you so much for being here. I'm very grateful to see you, Eric, that you comment below. Anybody that sees this play afterwards, please don't be shy. Send me a comment. Much love and peace to you. And again, thank you for being here, for rocking with me while I try different things in this social virtual space. And I'll talk to you again.